everyone? Oh my goodness, it is Friday night. Look at this. This is the first time I think I've started a show like this where there's 2 extra people in my room. What's going on? Oh, all right. So tonight is open mic night, and it's a guest appearance open mic night. Because obviously there's 2 people here. I got Tim and Dave from Three Tortured Souls. So before we get going, let me put up my rules because we need some kind of rules, and that's perfect that it actually doesn't cover up Tim. That's great. I love that. We totally planned that, like editing, hours and hours of editing. So rule number 1 is that you are welcome to ask questions. So tonight you can ask questions. There's 3 of us here tonight. You're welcome to ask questions about paranormal skepticisms. Dave's here, so you can talk about parapsychology or make fun of it. Kidding.
Whatever, skeptic.
Whatever. Rule number 2, which is probably really important, is that I don't know everything. Neither do these guys, but we know a little bit about a lot of things. So if we don't know what it is, I do have my trusty official Skeptical Help Bar notebook here, and I will write it down, and we'll get back to you. We'll try it. We'll look it up and see if we can get back to you with a good answer. Rule number 3 is that we follow the Patrick Swayze rule here, and that means that you can get in the chat room, you can discuss and debate and disagree, but just don't be a dick about it. That's pretty much what it comes down to. No name calling. Divine Donna is not here tonight. She is on vacation away from me because honestly, there's only so much of me anyone can stand at a given time. So they need a break, and Donna needs a break quite often because I'm horrible. I'm just difficult.
He's a handful.
Yeah, I am. So in place, Tim will be helping with the comments and the questions. Yes, he is my my go-to backup when I need help with this kind of stuff. So, in this case, he will boot your ass if you get out of line in the chat room. That's right. That's right. So all hate mail can go right to Tim Vickers at don'tgiveashit.com. Rule number 4 is that if you do have a question tonight, please do us a favor, put a Q in front of it. That makes it easier for Tim to save them for later or save them for the rest of the night. And then lastly is my favorite, energy. That means drink up because this is a bar. Tim, right, there he is. There he is.
I have my
totally
Irish.
digging that Dave is drinking out of a mason jar.
Straight bourbon.
Straight bourbon. There you go.
This won't last long, will it?
Oh my goodness, this is going to be a great show. Let me say hi to some people here. We got Robert, we got Daniel, Shauna, we got Carolyn. Hey Carolyn, what's up? JD, Bob's in the house, Diane. Is that the same Robert? That might be it. No, that's a different Robert. No, it is the same Robert. He's double dipping tonight. We got Tim Vickers is in the house, double dipping as well.
Yo.
And I think Redman's here. Jay's here. Jane, that's cool. All right, Jocelyn. Oh, Jossie, what's up? She's one of my favorites. I love Jossie. She's so sweet. And like when I get to see her and we get to hang out, we have awesome conversations. So I absolutely love hanging out with Jossie. So again, tonight is about questions. It's open mic night. Three Tortured Souls Takeover night. I like that. I came
fire
up
away
with myself. So if you guys got questions, please do us a favor, put them in the comments. But we also, because we were chatting earlier today, and we actually came up with a couple questions for each of us to ask each other.
Yeah, Dave.
Yeah,
Thanks
Dave.
What the fuck?
I'm really glad that you let me in on a little bit of that, so nobody got to see that live.
I thought it would just help the rage build a little bit more
is.
until we got there.
So as we as I'm watching, let's build up some questions. Also, if you have a topic that you're like, hey, I heard about this or I saw this online, what do you think about it? Feel free to put that in there. But I'm going to start it off because I just want to piss off Dave. So I'm going to start off with a question.
Redemption.
And it's for both of you, but really mainly for Dave.
Okay.
So, what's this? Oh, I got a warning come up. I hate when like pop-ups just pop up in front. Like, you know what? I have this McAfee. It's McAfee. And I
Ugh,
haven't renewed my subscription, and every freaking hour it pops up.
yeah.
It's annoying. It's really annoying. All right, so here's my question, Dave.
Yes.
I saw on social media that there is a new documentary coming out April 23rd about the Amityville house, and it's called it's called Amityville: An Origin
Oh.
Story.
Uh-huh.
And it's got some things like I have one note that I'm going to touch on, but I wanted to know, what do you guys think, mostly Dave, about another documentary coming out about the Amityville house? So let's go with Tim first.
I
Save the
don't
best
think
for
it's.
last.
I'll answer really quick. I don't think it's needed. I think that's pretty much done. I feel like that has been swept under the carpet and stomped and put in the forget file.
Yeah.
The testimony alone that Melanie got a hold of for a show that we did about the concocting under oath of the story, that alone is
Right.
that alone is heavy about that. So, I kind of get like, I don't know. My question about I would wonder who's profiting off of this. I don't know if the current owners are like allowing it, or if they're just going based on historical documents and historical pictures.
Right.
Are they allowed to do it? But it kind of feels like at this point, another story about the Amityville house is like another story about ghost orbs.
So Dave, what do you think?
Why? Why is there another fucking show about this? Seriously. I mean, we've covered this on Three Tortured Souls. You've covered it on your Skeptical Help Bar. Listen, people have debunked this. The people and the lawyer, the Lutzes and the lawyer, have basically said they came up with this shit to write a book, make some money. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
The thing that got my interest is there's a certain individual that claims to be associated with this, and they're going to be interviewed in the series. And my first question is, besides living in New York, what the fuck do you have and what did you do with this? Yeah, the F words are going to fly freely on this one because Kenny knew this was the hot button this week. And I'm actually holding back from the comments I had. So really, what more is there to perpetuate besides the incredible amount of bullshit that continues to go on? I mean, yeah, it's a great story. Everybody loved the movies. The book was fun. But listen, the people that were involved even said it was not real. Well, they said it was not real. Then they backtracked and said it was real. And
Well,
who
money does that to
knows?
you. Yeah.
But nobody in that house after the Lutzes moved out have reported any single damn experience. Now, unless you're going to bring your connects in and see two devil stick figures humping each other, what the hell are you going to? What are you going to propose? What are you going to bring forward? Seriously, there's nothing that's been reported. If it was that haunted, that much demonic activity, wouldn't you think there'd be at least one or two reports after the Lutzes moved out of there? So basically, I'm not going to waste any more goddamn time on this. We're done. Move on. I mean, unless you want to invite Mr. Potato Head on to explain it, please do.
Sure. Open invitation. Anytime.
You know who you are.
Yes. So for me, yeah, I agree completely with you guys on this because it's something. I actually first heard of this weeks back because Sharon Hill put out a newsletter. She puts out a newsletter like I think once a week, and it's like just tidbits in the news and stuff. And she had mentioned this, and it was almost like, here's another one. I don't know why, because we don't need another one. And that's exactly what I think. We don't need another one. There is nothing new to report. And I found it interesting. There's a trailer online. It's 30 seconds long, and in it, it comes up on the screen in text, never before seen interviews. But none of the footage, excuse me, is anything like archival. It's all current stuff. So it's basically they filmed new interviews, and now they're claiming never before seen interviews. That's what it looks like to me. Where that's like a bait and switch kind of thing. Because
I'm going to venture to guess the show tonight is Never Before Seen Show by Kenny's
It
Skeptical
is?
Health Bar.
You're seeing never before seen footage right now. Right now, as we speak.
The maths work on it.
Yeah. that always bothers me though. Like, because when I see something advertised like that, I'm like, oh well, somebody discovered something in an attic. You know, there was a shoebox in an attic, and it had photos, and they're like, oh shit, you know, this is from 1974 or whatever, you know, and no one's ever seen these. But I don't think technically new interviews do count, but it's not a selling point. All right, so that was my question. For my first question for you guys. Do we have any from the audience here?
Yeah.
Yes. Awesome. Let's see. Dave, why is your keyboard covered up? No more tunes? Oh.
No, because I literally got on and was talking to Tim and Kenny maybe 3 minutes before the show.
Right.
So I didn't have time to uncover them. And I don't know, I'm very, very particular about the keyboards and the equipment, so I keep them covered up normally to keep the dust off of them. So I honestly just didn't have time. There will be more tunes to come. Awesome. And it might be never heard before tunes in fiscal year 23.
Dude, you should write a song called Never Before Heard Song.
Yeah. And I'll end up just playing covers of all the shit everybody's heard before, just like the Amity Bowl.
Oh, that's good.
These guys don't press my fucking buttons.
What's with all the Dave hate tonight? There's no hate.
It's all love, man. If they don't give me shit, then I know there's a problem.
Yeah. I mean, it's just all fun, and it's this is one of the rare times, because when we do 3TS, we have a topic, you know, and we're usually focused on that topic, so we don't have a chance to just like relax and just chill and make fun of each other. And we do that offline a lot, but we're actually online, not live. But yeah, this is nice just to come in and chill and kind of no pressure to research extremely intense, like an hour before we have to go on the show, even though we have a month. All right.
Speaking of which,
shit, I needed to come up with a topic.
Yes, you do.
Weren't you going to invite somebody on the show?
Oh yeah. You know what? I have to reach out again, because I was talking to the author of the Bigfoot
paper we talked
bear.
about.
Yeah. And he had two other papers that were similar about like the Loch Ness Monster and something else. I forget the other one, but he sent me all three so I could look at them. And so after the show tonight, I'll respond to them, and then we'll see if we can get them on, because that'll be fun. That would be fun to talk to somebody like that. All right. So Tim, well, actually, since we gave Dave so much shit, Dave can go with his first question.
And I'm going to return it in kind, and this is going to go to Tim, and of course, Kenny can chime in too. What does para-unity mean to you? And how could it be made a good thing?
Don't be tacking on shit.
This is like this. I wish we would have thought this out a little bit sooner, because this is almost like let's try to stump the other guy.
There's only one asshole question. The rest are pretty good.
I wish I would have known the rules of this game, because I have legit questions.
We just make
Tim. So fine, I'll simplify it for you. What does para-unity mean to you? Go.
It's a good cover to hide under to keep from being questioned about your methods, your practice, your findings, and basically what the hell you were thinking.
Okay.
Um,
Well,
it,
then what
it
I
al-
have to say to you, Tim, is good answer, bro.
Good answer, bro. I don't understand. I think the idea of para-unity is like this, and I'm sure I'm missing it, but it's like a concept of it not being attacked. But that just they don't. I don't see a definition of attacked, and I think people confuse feeling attacked and
Mm.
just an actual question.
Mhm.
Right.
That's cool.
And the difference I think of feeling attacked and a good question is whether you can answer that question or not. So if you can't answer that question, you are being attacked. But if you can answer it, it was a great question.
Right. And you know what? I mean, I think we just had, I don't know why I keep clearing my throat. Damn. Dusty, shut up.
I was reaching.
Oh my God.
We're not going to start till we get more people in here.
Oh, the inside jokes. I hope
This
it's watching.
is full of inside jokes so far.
So
Even though I've been live for 15 minutes, I'm just going to go get something to eat and I'll come back.
we recently had an example of this, and I don't want to go into too great a detail on this because I really didn't want to dwell on it.
Right.
But there was a Facebook page that I had responded to. There was a question put out about like post your YouTube videos. You know, if you make YouTube videos and it has to do with the paranormal or something like that, put them up. So I linked my page to it, and somebody responded to me saying, why did you attack so and so? And this has to do with an episode of Skeptical Hell Bar that we had a couple weeks ago where we talked about someone else's investigation at a haunted attraction. Hey, Divine One is here. Very cool. I was like, how did that pop up on screen? Oh, that's right.
Magic.
But the whole post, the response to me was, why did you attack these people? You after hearing about you, I heard about how much, like, I'm paraphrasing here because I don't have it in front of me, but basically calling me a dick. And you know, now that they see me for themselves online, I am, I guess I am a dick. And why did I attack these people? So building on what you said, Tim, like, I went back and responded saying, you know, I didn't attack anyone. We just discussed it. We discussed the situation. We discussed an investigation or a ghost hunt that people had. And it was like, all right, what happened? What was the environment like? Thanks, Ben. Who let him in here? And that's the difference I think you're talking about. Like, we offered criticism for an environment, a situation, and how somebody ran a
But I thought it was I thought it was constructive. I mean,
Yes.
we didn't really just rip on it. It's like, well, if you want to do it this way, then fine. If you want to do it a different way, then improve
Yes.
on it. It really
Yeah.
wasn't malicious, or
Right.
I don't know. I didn't think it was, but whatever.
And we made it known several times. I did reach out to the owners. They couldn't do it because they were on vacation over across the pond. And I offered to have them on later, but they didn't want to. And it was kind of ridiculous because this para-unity thing, it's I guess I see it as like double-edged, because for the most part, I agree with what Tim said. It's a reason to hide behind. It's an excuse that I don't have to explain myself. I can put out whatever I want. I can put pictures and video and EVPs and all of this kind of stuff out into the world. And I don't want you to criticize me or question me or, bring up anything because para-unity, which is complete bullshit. It's complete bullshit, especially for anyone that claims to be scientific. Like, that's not how it works at all. Criticism is part of science. I mean, look at peer-reviewed anything.
What?
What? What? On the other hand, there's really only one instance where I saw that it's kind of used in a half decent way, and that's one of the conferences that I do attend. That's called Para-Unity, and they invite me. They invite me to be there, and I mean, I'm the skeptic in a pool of ghost hunters and psychics and all that stuff, and the rules are like, you can say what you want, but you just can't. It's basically the Patrick Swayze rule. Don't be a dick about it, but you can say what you want. And the organizers have even defended me against people that wanted to kick me out, which I was like, wow, that's pretty cool. But for the most part, yeah, I agree with what Tim said. It's usually an excuse. So there you go. That was my answer. I don't know if that was
No,
pretty
it's good.
long-winded.
Good.
So just real quick, it was a very tough question that made me begin the turn to physically, like a physically actual turn of going, what the hell am I doing? And that was, we were in the cycle. I was a ghost hunter. We were in the cycle of a really popular house close by, and setting up the equipment and running the cable, and had the really cool orange reels for everything. And there was somebody in the house that was leaving the place, and they were visiting. And she asked me, she said, well, what are you looking for? And I was like, ghost, hello. Don't you see all of our black shirts that say ghost hunters? And so she was like, yeah, but what are you looking for? And I was like, ghosts. And she goes, well, like, tell me, what is it? Like, what are you looking for? What will you see that you will go, that's a ghost? And I was like, ma'am, I have cable to run. You gotta go talk to the tech manager about that shit. So that was a tough question, and I don't know who she was, but if I could ever meet her, I would thank her for that. I mean, that was like a very abridged short version of it, but it really put me on a spot.
Yeah.
And it put me on a spot live in front of somebody that was questioning me. She wasn't rude. I mean, honestly, she could have been actually very inquisitive. Like, she wanted to know. But all of a sudden, like, I didn't have an answer. Like, I didn't even have an answer to the basis of what I was doing.
Right.
And it dawned on me that I didn't, because I couldn't respond to that. And it was a good moment. It was an embarrassing moment, but it was a good moment.
Yeah, I have found that when you ask people, when you have that conversation, and you ask an awkward question, that should be commonplace. Like, it really should be commonplace. Every ghost hunter should have an answer for, what is a ghost? What are you looking for? How does this work? And when you're faced with that question, sometimes it turns out that you don't have an answer, like Tim's example, or when you start reciting your answer out loud and not typing it, when you say it, you begin to realize, this sounds bad.
Yeah.
Like, this doesn't make sense when I'm saying it. And I've come across that working here. A lot of times we start having discussions about things, and it's like, well, what was the explanation for that? And they're like, oh, well, it sounded pretty good, because they were reading it in like an email. And then when they vocalize it, it's like, now that I say it out loud, it kind of sounds silly. And I've seen that a lot, where I'm at conferences and I ask someone behind a booth, what's this do? How does this do this? What's the, or Tim's question, what's the mechanism that a ghost possesses an object?
Still one of the greatest days of my life. Well, my paranormal life.
Yeah. Walk away.
Yeah. So yeah, when they, and you see, it's almost like they start out strong, and then within the first, I don't know, like 2 lines of their spiel, you see them start looking around, and the light bulbs start getting dim. And I'm not saying they're dumb, but it's like they're running out of, oh, well, I thought I knew what I was going to say, but now I'm realizing this doesn't sound Right. Um, so that's an interesting question. I like that.
Mhm.
Cool. All right. So Tim,
Timmy.
Timmy, let's before we go on to some of the other questions we have in
Yes,
in the
jump up there.
waiting. What's your first question for everyone?
My question. I thought you were going to
Your
go with the other question.
well, Dave had his Para-Unity question.
Yeah, thanks,
I
Dave.
pissed him off with the Amityville.
I kind of now wish that you would have saved that so people could see my initial response. Okay, so I wish I would have taken this the route you guys did, but here's a good question. If you were given access to any location of your choice, money and time is no object, where would you choose to research for 1 solid year?
Ooh.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah.
Dang.
Damn. We really need to like have
Shit.
a meeting beforehand.
now I gotta come up with something.
You know, like,
Where-
hey guys, I have a serious question that I'm gonna put out to you. You might
Well, I
wanna
thought that this is like more just fun. I'm like,
right.
I didn't. It's hard for me to answer. And
Where? Like that's for a year? That's a long time, dude.
yeah,
Hmm.
I think that's minimum for me. But we've
minimum.
had that show too.
Right.
Mhm.
Ah, man. I don't know.
That's a
Dave,
good-
go first.
No, that's a really good question. I can't name somewhere off the top of my head because one, it would not be a famous, well-known location.
Yes. Yes.
Two, I would want to hear about what's going on, something that seems
Right.
active, seems consistent, multiple witnesses. It's occurred over a fairly good length of time. So I guess I could give you those criteria of a place I'd want to spend a year in, but not necessarily a location because everywhere you hear about that's famous, popular, I don't know if there's really anything going there. So I would like to take the time to find a location that nobody knows about that people might be legitimately concerned about. They may have had some pretty disturbing experiences, and you can ask and have certain question sets and um, I guess psychological profiles. You would want to find people that wouldn't be prone to experiences. Maybe they never had experiences before. They go to this place, they have experiences, they don't believe in any of this, they have stuff they can't explain. So for me, it would be more of here's a list of criteria of a place I would want to go spend a year at, not necessarily a particular place that's well known. But I mean, if you got a couple $1,000,000, Tim, you want to blow, pretty much anywhere in England, I'd be glad to go tromp around there for a while and do a year at some location. But for the most part, for me, it's something somebody doesn't know about, and there's some really good, legitimate reports. Well, not legitimate, but reports of experiences by people who don't normally have experiences, and it's an active location.
I think that's a great answer. I actually I like that answer.
Yeah. I'm as he's talking on I'm agreeing. Like there's it's just as he's
The
talking,
Jedi mind trick is real.
Yes, that's what it was.
This is not the place you're looking for.
I mean, it's when you put it that way, because I started thinking like, all right, where would I want to go? And your first thoughts are the places like the places that have been out there already. And when you take a second to really think about it, none of these places are attractive in that way because they have a lot of stories, but they're usually coming from a lot of ghost hunters that don't employ any kind of scientific methodology. It's a lot of anecdotes. It's a lot of just, oh, I saw a shadow or I heard a noise, which don't really account for anything for me. Like I want testable claims. So I would be more if I had, I think I'm going to go a different route and just say if I had a year and unlimited funds, then I would probably look for the location that has had the most Bigfoot sightings, and spend a year
Ooh.
in the woods
Ooh.
with all my equipment, like a lot of thermal gear, like a lot of FLIR shit, because I want to get that big guy. And just spend a year in the woods, like in the most dense area of eyewitness reports, to give me the
Good.
best chance, because that's a year. That's a year just doing nothing, of just, and then whatever I wouldn't need to buy. I mean, unlimited funds, hell yeah. I think that would be good. I thought about UFOs, but that's just shit. Just that's I'm getting burned out on bullshit UFO videos.
Yeah.
Plus, they're harder to track. Anything like that. But I think that's my answer. Like I would find something that was just the most popular area,
Mhm.
according to eyewitness reports. Not like, Bluff Creek is just famous because that's the first sighting, the first video. But that's not necessarily like the most eyewitness heavy area. So there's my answer. That was good.
Good.
That was good, Tim. Damn it.
Very good.
That made me really think. And I hate dead air, so I was like, shit, I gotta just babble and just ramble on, because I hate dead air.
Part 2 is not too bad.
That's good. All right,
Good.
so let's hit some
questions?
Some questions. Yeah.
All right.
All right, Carolyn. Hey, Carolyn. Good to see you. Kenny, not really a question, but liked your article about the ghost on the trucker's cam. Thank you.
Cool.
I actually, I'd love to comment on this, because I had fun doing that. It was more of a techie heavy article where I went into a lot of technical stuff. I even did math. Like, that takes a lot to get me to do math, but I cheated. I used the online calculator, but I had to do math. I'm like, shit, like, oh, well, like the how far do your headlights go out, and if you're driving at this speed, how long before you overrun your headlights, and this and that. So figuring out that stuff, it was fun. There was a lot of people, because the article gets shared on social media, but also like Skeptical Inquirer, they share it, and that's where you see like the really, really, like, I live in my mom's basement comments that really come out. And there were so many people that were like, well, I just read that it was from Fox News and I know it's bullshit, or why waste your time and this and that, because of Fox News. And my response is basically, one, Fox News wasn't the only one that shared it. You have to understand, a lot of these viral videos, everyone shares it. So all the news agencies share it. It's not just Fox. They were probably the first. I think they were the first, because that's the original one. Actually, I mean, JD Sword was the one that sent me the link to that first. But other news outlets, ABC, NBC News, CNN, they all shared it. So it's on all the legit news sites. It's still bullshit, but they shared it. And second, it's not really about, did a trucker see a ghost? I don't give a shit about that. Like that. That's not the point of some of my investigations. The point is, let's look into all the details. What do we know? What can we speculate based on what we know? And one guy commented that he was not happy because of several things, but because I used reviews of that camera, that dash cam, from other people. And like, I'm not going to spend $100 on a dash cam just to try it out, when there's professional reviewers out there that do this. Like, these are people that have their entire channel, their entire full-time job is reviewing tech, and they give you examples, they give you all the technical information. And I hate, I guess what I'm getting at is, I hate when people just see like a headline or one line in an article and they're like, that's bullshit, and they don't check the reference, which I do. I reference everything. So You can actually go see the videos of the reviews of the camera and see how in depth they get. And I mean, there's a lot more to it than did a trucker see a ghost. I like learning about the camera. I like learning about the process and figuring out, all right, what are the conditions here? What do we know? What can we speculate based on the information that we have, and this and that. So it's a lot more than just, did he see a ghost? So good question. Thank you. I appreciate that. And that gave me a chance to, an excuse to vent a little bit. So I appreciate it.
I'm going to skip the queue just a little bit and go to Daniel's question, because I think it's relative. Oh,
Cool.
shit. Damn. Here we go.
How's that coffee?
Oh, it's related. Thank you very much.
But did you share your analysis?
But
That I
did
know
they
the
share?
So I guess it's for the same video, right?
Yes. Uh-huh.
Yeah. So did I share it?
Did they share?
Did they share?
Oh, did they share it?
You're
I
drunk
don't know.
too.
I don't know. It was funny because like some of the people were commenting, like they would trash Fox News, which I'm not a fan, so I'm not endorsing them. I'm neutral here. That's not the point. The point was the story was there and it was shared a whole bunch of times and millions of people saw it. So did they share it? I saw some people going, this is a joke. Like Skeptical Inquirer is a joke. Fox News is a joke. Everyone's a joke. And my response was, why are you here? Like, you're following this page. I went through Skeptical Inquirer's page and you comment on a lot of stuff. Why the fuck are you here if you think it's a joke? You know, you're a joke. Stop following if you don't like it. Was that harsh? I don't care.
Have another drink.
Yeah, I know. You know, I get more honest. It fires. That's why I avoid the comments. I mean, that's
Yeah.
part of my investigation methodology is actually reading the comments, but that's when I'm investigating something. But when it's my own stuff and I put out, for the most part, I don't read all the comments because you'll waste your time. You'll waste your entire day arguing with people that really don't care and don't care to look into it. They just want to push your buttons. So I mean, I grazed through it and like, oh, let's look. Oh yeah, that's a funny one. Oh, he really doesn't like me. Get in line, buddy. You know, like, but it's just, I guess it's that thing. It's that I'm stereotyping here, but if you have that, I live in my mother's basement, and you know, I play on the keyboard, and I'm a keyboard warrior with Cheetos all over, you know, front of my shirt. You're gonna have people like that, you know, and sometimes they star in like a documentary for Amityville. Who knows?
Oh.
So
I can't remember which one it was, but I would play it right now. Oh, I'm gonna. Here we go. There it is.
Nice.
Oops, I snorted too. Fuck. I wish I would have got that mid drink. That would have been. Here we go. All right, we got another one. This was a nice question.
All right. So Darth Binks. I like that. That's good.
Good.
Between the three of you, have you had an experience that cannot be explained and therefore thought this could be attributed to the paranormal?
Good question.
Good question.
Tim.
Yes. And attributed to the paranormal, I'm just going to say it's something that I don't know how to explain. So it could be, it could not be. Like, I guess to preface, I'm certainly don't say what we consider and think about like ghosts and different things to not exist, because I can't say that they don't exist. But I certainly have had an experience that I couldn't explain. But I summed it up to I just don't know what happened. Now, at the time, I was in my ghost hunter phase. So, of course, I had, you know, it was the ghost of this person that had passed away in the basement. And that was it. And you could convince me no further of anything else. but as I progress forward and think about it and in retrospect about it, I do think about it from time to time. Um, I don't know what happened. So to give you what happened, I was in a basement of a beautiful place, and the reports were that this person had passed away in the basement of tuberculosis, and the owner of the home was a doctor. It was his son, and they moved him to the basement for some type of treatment. This was like in the 30s, early to mid 30s when he passed away. And I'm walking backwards, which I think now takes a lot of account into it. And there was construction. They were fixing up this house. The house was built in like the late 1800s. So there was a lot of construction going on. Well, as I was walking backwards, my hat got flipped, down over my eyes. And of course, the first thing I did was I thought I knocked something off of a shelf, and I shrugged my shoulders, waiting for stuff to fall and break and stuff that I couldn't afford to replace. And I knew I was going to be in a lot of trouble. But I didn't see anything. So there was nothing that looked at the time like it was around me that I bumped into. And immediately after that, I became quite ill. I became quite sick. And I had to go outside thinking, I don't want to throw up in this really nice house. But if I do, I'll just say we found it. It must be from one of the workers. I don't know.
Ectoplasm.
Yeah, ectoplasm. So I don't know why I got sick. I don't know what I hit. So I just don't know. I don't know what that was. And it's a place that has a lot of reports. So that was it. I think, thinking, walking backwards, I don't know what I hit, if I hit anything. So I
Okay.
can't say.
Interesting.
Yep.
Dave?
Yep. I think we all probably have to kind of keep you interesting, keep you going in this. And would you say it's paranormal? I don't know if I would use paranormal. I would say anomalous is something that I can't currently explain. There's been a couple of them. The one that always stands out is a house in Wisconsin. At a party, went outside talking to somebody, and it was just a kind of a bizarre experience where you're talking and you kind of catch some motion out of the corner of your eye. You look at it, and it looked like this little boy with this yellow shirt, long blue shorts, went running around the side of the house. But it was weird because the edges were kind of fuzzy. It was, you could see clearly the little boy. And then I thought, okay, some kid in the house of the party we're at, we gotta exact, yeah, there you go. I thought, oh, I gotta go in. One of the kids is out, they're running around, like, hey, somebody's kid in this outfit just ran outside, and they're like, yeah, there's nobody here that fits that description. So the house was, it found out the house is known to have a variety of different activities, supposedly, that they heard children's voices. They heard a little child say "mommy" a couple times. I mean, you find out all these things, and it happened afterwards. But to me, it's one of those things where it's just like, I really don't know what it was. I have no idea. I think about it quite a bit. It's like, could it just have been maybe one of the kids at the party that ran outside, and I just mistook the identification and the description of the clothes? Maybe. I don't know. I really don't know. So that's one of them. But there's been a couple things throughout the years that I've been doing this where
Sure.
I just can't readily come up with an explanation. So
Good.
to me, that's what's interesting. And sometimes doing other investigations, research, had situations where the equipment would actually correlate with people reporting experiences, myself included. Other times you had nothing at all on anything register, and it was all purely a subjective experience. So yeah, there's things that happen I can't currently explain. Doesn't mean that it's a ghost, doesn't mean that it wasn't. I just don't know what it is right now. And those are the type of things that really interest me, because uh, we've gone to all the famous haunted places, and did a lot of, in the day, private home investigations where people claimed all this stuff was happening. And it was really, really, really rare that I would experience anything at all. And it's not like I have experiences all the time. So for me, when I look at it in that context, it's pretty interesting because we talk about, people who are more prone to have experiences. They have a lot of experiences. It seems like no matter where they go, they have experiences, but that's just not the case with me. So I sit back and look at that like, okay, that was something weird. I don't know what it was, but it's really kind of cool, and it keeps me interested.
Cool. I think I'm leaning towards you, Dave. I mean, with my answer. I mean, I like how you express that, and I think I'm going to say basically the same thing. Like, I've experienced a lot of things that I cannot explain, but I don't label them paranormal. For me, the condensed version of this philosophy is that if you don't know what caused an experience, then when you put the label paranormal on it, you're inserting a conclusion without evidence. If you don't know, you don't know, and that's usually where I stay. If I don't know what caused it, then that's where I stay. I don't know.
I'd like to add, before I forget, with that, putting a label on it. I think once you put a label on it that you're not sure, then you're also excluding other possibilities, just by labeling it a possibility.
Right. When you mean if you call it paranormal, then you're excluding
Yes.
anything. Okay. Yeah. I agree. It's one of those things where, yeah, you don't know. Let's leave it open right now because we don't have enough information. And this is a question that I get a lot, and an answer that I have to say a lot, which I don't mind. I don't mind repeating it because it's beneficial. But if something happens, and just a random example, if you see a shadow of a figure, what you think is a figure down the hallway, and you don't think anyone's there, like, by the time you get down that hallway, you're looking around, you can't find anything that caused that. Does that mean it's a ghost? No, it doesn't. It means something caused a shadow that you saw, but we weren't there at the time. We don't have that information. That information is missing. So therefore, we'll document our experience, the details of the experience, but I'm not going to label it paranormal or a shadow figure, never, or a ghost or something like that, because I don't know what it is. And I don't, that's actually good. I think I was getting to that, Tim, without realizing I was getting into that, but I don't want to label it and exclude everything else. So yeah, that's where I would go with this. I would not attribute anything to the paranormal if I didn't know what caused it.
All right.
Like if Casper comes down and says, hey, like, all right, well, this is paranormal.
I attribute this to really good weed.
Oh, I wish.
Here we go.
All right.
Does anyone still look for the Loch Ness Monster? I like this question because I loved the Loch Ness Monster. Like when I was a kid, I was going to Loch Ness and I was going to find the Loch Ness Monster. It was absolutely.
I do know that there are still people looking.
Yep.
I know that there was a report done within the last couple years. I forget what it was. There was a team that was scanning the loch, looking for any kind of unusual. I forget what they were doing. What were they doing? They were looking at, like, they were taking samples of the water and seeing what was in there, and not only like life but waste products from what lives in there.
Were they looking at environmental DNA? That's a new hot topic. Trying to
think that's what it was.
Grab just samples and doing different DNA analysis to see what it could show.
Right.
So,
and then I know that there is a guy, and I forget his name, and I actually kind of think he passed away recently, but he was living on the banks of the loch. He had a trailer set up and he lived there like 24/7. And I know he was big into that and always looking. But I don't know if there's anyone actively looking anymore. And it's funny, like lake monsters in general. I know there's a couple. There's a lake that's not too far from me
Lake
now.
Champlain.
I think so. Yeah.
Champlain. Yeah, the
So
monster.
that's within driving distance now. So I might be going up there to take a look at Champ, see if I can find Champ. And there's another one like Ogopogo.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah. So, but I don't know if there's anyone like actively looking like we're going to go out this weekend and find. I'm sure there's tourists, that are out there all the time, every weekend, every day looking. I mean, I'm the same way. I would, if I was anywhere near it, I'd be like, yep, we're going. If anything, to get a selfie in front of the lock, I'm going. So yeah, what do you guys, anything to add?
Nope. Haven't seen anything new. There was an effort a while ago where they went out with all kinds of monitoring equipment and fish radar detectors looking for whatever, and there was some weird stuff, but then again they're like, oh, it's probably just a school of fish. So I haven't seen anything new come through recently, but I'm sure there's people still looking for it.
Yeah.
So it was the guy with the really cool beard.
Yeah. Steve Feltham quit his job to start hunting Nessie in 91 and has vowed to spend the rest of his life hunting for the legendary Scottish creature. So that's him. I don't know if he's still alive. Because I thought I read something that he passed away, but I hope not. Because I would love to meet him. I think that would be just cool. It looks like he's been doing it, since 91. So he's been out there for a long time. But what's sad is that he still hasn't found it. I mean, he's been living on the beach, literally on the lake, and not found it. So that's kind of sad. But hopefully. All right. Next.
Here we go. I love this question too because I already know what my answer is.
If one cryptozoological creature could be real, which one would you want it? Which one would you want to be real and why? Thanks, Bob. Damn it, Bob.
Damn it, Bob.
Got to get one in every show.
Mothman for me. I just
got
to represent West Virginia. Absolutely.
Yeah. I think there's a chance. I have it on my schedule to come out for the festival this year.
I hope so.
Going down, yeah. But a creature. Wow. So Mothman, you got Mothman. Bigfoot's like really. That's easy. Loch Ness we just talked about. I don't know.
I'll go with a local one, the Beast of Bray Road in Wisconsin.
Ooh.
Or it's like a mix between a werewolf and a chupacabra. But that's a local one that I've always thought the stories are cool, and if it was real, that'd be cool.
That'd be cool. I think I would like. I mean, that maybe chupacabra. I love saying it. Would probably be cool, but like the original version. Because the original version was more alien-like. Like almost. The original version reminds me of. Did you guys ever watch V?
Yeah.
The series.
Yep. Love
Remember
that.
when the first like alien baby was born?
Yeah.
Like that's what it reminds me. That is a chupacabra to me. the baby from V.
That's
just
awesome.
Kind of.
Oh my god. The old movie.
Remember, like they had a lizard one and then the little girl.
Yep.
So the lizard one died pretty soon after being born, but like that thing, that's a chupacabra.
Because it makes absolute sense that human DNA and reptilian V DNA would be compatible. Yep.
Don't spoil the dream, Dave.
I used to love the show, man, but I watched it again recently. I'm like,
that's your problem.
Why did I like this so much? It's same with like Lost in Space. I'm like, I love this as a kid. I watch it now. I'm like, I would have killed Dr. Smith, thrown his ass outside in space. What the hell is going on here?
Yeah, like
it sucks to get old, man. You question stuff.
Going off on a tangent here.
All right, sorry.
First, watching old shows that we loved as a kid is
Big
a bad
mistake.
idea.
Don't do
Big
it.
mistake.
Don't do it.
And 2, yes, you're lost, literally lost in space, and you have one guy, Dr. Smith, that sabotages everything. You kill him.
Seriously, who's going to convict you of murder? Nobody.
No, yeah. Isn't that like international waters rules? nothing goes.
Oops,
Everything
accidental discharge on the laser gun.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Oops, sorry. Or just leave him on a planet.
Have the robot kill him. Jesus.
Yeah.
God.
All right.
All right. Sorry. Tangent.
All right, you ready?
Mhm.
Here we go.
Hit us.
Another nice one.
John Guy. What's up, John? John, just for the record, the request is in. I'm waiting for a response. He knows what I mean.
Okay.
Okay.
Say
so-
no more.
Are there any myths about haunted volcanoes? Ooh.
Whoop.
If so, how do
To
believers
Google we go.
investigate it? Or how do they prove they're really haunted? So I'll touch real fast. I'll touch first on this, that I have not heard anything about haunted, as in ghost volcanoes, except I think there might be, and I might be going out on a limb here, but I remember something with Hawaiian myth that might have something to do with it. More, not really haunted, but more with mythology.
Mm.
But I also know in UFO lore that there's a lot where
Yep.
UFOs are allegedly drawn to volcanoes. I don't know if the thermal, geothermal energy, which I used in the right sense, is what they're looking for. I don't know, but I know in UFO lore there's a lot that have to do with that. So, go ahead, Dave.
I got nothing to add to that one.
Well, haunted volcanoes pulls up a few things.
Oh,
Rabbit hole time.
No,
boy.
nope, can't do rabbit hole. Not yet.
no. The rest of the night, that's it. Tim's like,
Nope.
volcanoes. We're gonna have like volcano facts tomorrow in our chat.
Yeah. Hey guys.
Did you guys know?
We're gonna wake up tomorrow. There's gonna be like 30 messages from Tim.
Holy shit! Look at this. All
right.
Here we go.
We've got another question. We'll take one more and we'll go to our break. Oh crap. Kenny,
You're in
show
trouble.
everyone my new ghost. I sent it to your phone. Oh my God, she's trying to get a plug. She's trying to get like free advertising on my show. That's like, I guess I have to show it because I'll get in trouble if I don't.
That's right.
There you go. I don't know what these are. Are these stickers? They look cute.
I like them.
They do look cute.
They look like stickers. Actually, yeah, they look like stickers because you can see the edge around them. I don't know. I guess you can comment. So there you go. I did my marital duty for the night. So no more free plugs. You're gonna have to pay.
That just
You want
sounds
more advertising. Do what Donna says. She's
Marital
not here.
duty.
I don't have to do what she says. She's not here.
Oh,
She's
I
coming
get
home.
away with
though.
anything I want
Dude,
until tomorrow.
Don't forget she's coming home.
Kenny, don't test that hypothesis
Yeah, I got to clean.
because she will be home.
I got to do the dishes. I got to clean up everything. Tonight's all like cleanup time. All right. Let's go to the break. Let's go to our pee break, which is funny. Here's a poll. On the break, I want everyone to answer this poll. So someone, Donna, said that she doesn't like that it's called pee break. And I think it's just appropriate because that's pretty much what I'm doing during the break. So let me know your thoughts during the 3.5 minutes. Or actually, I think we're up to 4. It's a 4-minute break. So let me know your thoughts.
Right.
Do you like it called pee break or do you not like it called pre break? And here we go in 3, 2, 1. right, we're back.
All right.
All right.
I am back, but I need to bail. Got
Okay.
an issue at the house, so sorry. I apologize. Have a good rest of the show.
Okay.
I'm sure
You
you
take
guys
care
can
of
handle
business.
it. Yep,
Talk
we'll
later.
talk later. All right.
All right, buddy.
Thanks, everybody. Bye
All
bye.
right. Bye.
Bye, Dave.
Boom, boom, boom. Oh, all right. So now we can switch
Oh,
it
this
back.
is uneven. Okay, that's better. I was
There
like,
you go. Don't worry. I got it.
I couldn't do uneven.
I'm getting used to all the layouts now. I'm used. I like it. I like it. All right. So now it's up to us. We got to go another hour.
Oh, yeah.
All right. Thanks you for the West Virginia Skeptic Society spot in the pre-break. You are welcome, Daniel. I did tweak it a bit because I know the spinning stuff was getting on someone's nerves. Tiffany. But it's cool. It's cool. It gave me a chance to revamp it. And I was like, well, you know what? Instead of repeating everything, let me just add in some photos and add in some other people. So we got 3 Tortured Souls. I got like Melanie's thinking is power in there. And then Daniel, I got you in there because I want to promote it. I want to get it out there so people join and have fun. And hopefully we'll all meet up at the Mothman Festival. That would be fun. That would be fun. Spinning was horrible. You know what? I to be honest, like I don't watch it. I don't watch the break.
We're peeing.
Yeah, I mean, I do what the break is for. Like I go, and then when I come back here, like the music, which I love the music. The music is spot on now because it hits. I get up, I put stuff away, and by the time I get to the hallway now, like you hear the record scratch, and it changes to that, and I start dancing. And then when I come back in, I'm just dancing because I like it. It's good. It's good music. So, but I'm glad it's good. I'm glad that we got the spinning gone, so you don't have a problem with that. I don't want to screw you up there. So all right, I know we got a couple questions. Oh yeah, we do have a few. How about before we get to that?
Okay.
Do you have one more question?
I had a follow-up question.
You have a follow-up question. Let's do a follow-up and see what we'll tackle that.
So wherever your spot would be, and you had unlimited funds.
Oh, okay. Like,
whoa,
we're talking about my spot. Damn, okay.
That's supposed to be private chat.
Well, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
How would you do it?
How would I do? Oh, the investigation.
Yeah, but
Okay.
just generally. I mean, because
Okay.
I know us, and we could spend the next 45 minutes laying out a pattern.
All right. So the Cliff Notes version would be basically, I guess I would try to pinpoint the area that's the how do I say it, most densely populated with stories or eyewitness accounts. So that would take some research. That would be part of it, like a month, maybe a couple weeks at the very minimum of gathering all the stories, figuring out where it's the most and pinpoint it and then go there, set up camp, do what I have to do with like whatever permits I would need or figure out something or buy some land because funds are unlimited. So I might as well buy some property.
That's right.
Yeah. Buy like 100 acres or so and say, look, I'm going to live here. And then I would set up a lot of cameras. I would set up a lot of FLIR cameras with night vision cameras because I don't like, one of my pet peeves is I don't like when people offer FLIR footage, but you don't have any clear footage of it. You just have this very colorized version of a scene, and you really don't know what's going on. So I want clear view. I would set that up. I would set up motion sensors with them too. Trail cams, even though I hate trail cams, just redundancy. Let's back up the backup. And probably just wait, like let's see what happens and follow any new eyewitness testimony that comes out, any new eyewitness accounts. And I think that's it. Like, I don't know. I think I would learn as I go on this because I don't have too much experience going out looking for a Bigfoot. It's easy to like come up with a plan from here, but I don't know. I don't know what else I would do until I got there. I don't think I watch any Bigfoot shows to get to prepare because
Nah.
from what I
No.
see, they really don't investigate. Um, but yeah, and just see what happens. You know, maybe widen the perimeter a lot and have like have a map of the area in a grid, have certain cameras set up, have some kind of motion sensitivity going on where like I can see if something's active in this grid or this grid, you know, grid A1 versus grid C27 or something like that. I don't know. This would be more involved. That's my Cliff Notes version. I'm going to stop there
Yeah.
because this could go on the rest of the night.
Well,
So
I liked coming up with that question. Remember the Skinwalker Ranch when we watched
right.
some we kind of reviewed some of the episodes of a series with that, and quite frankly, the setup that they had was really impressive.
Mhm.
Now I don't know what they have or don't have there, but I just
Right.
remember looking at the setup and the equipment and the monitoring facilities, and you know what they read in the environment was really good. I remember all of us just really having really keen appreciation, and I think they probably had unlimited funds. I even want to kind of feel, and I don't know if I'm just not thinking correctly or maybe thinking it was something else, but it seemed like they had some type of seismograph for um,
Hmm.
disturbances in the ground that they could in certain hot spots that they think,
Right.
uh, and they would look for any type of higher pressure.
I agree. Like their setup on the surface is really good.
Mm-hmm.
They have a lot of cameras. They're covering. It almost looks like they cover the entire property. You know, so nothing. I mean, that would be ideal to be able to
Sure.
cover an area. But I mean, with my case, looking for Bigfoot in the woods, you're not going to cover the entire area. There's just no
No,
way.
it's a whole different
Yeah, whole different
terrain.
ball game there.
Yeah,
Where Skinwalker Ranch is open.
open.
It's very open. So yeah, you can cover the entire thing, and that's great. The issue is the interpretation and the editing that happens after the fact.
We know that.
Yeah, when you highlight like one camera instead of the 4 or 5 others that also got that angle, you know, there's a big problem. So, but yeah, I think that's great. I mean, I would love to be able to put a trailer like that. I think there like a show called Ghost Lab or something where they had a
I
trailer.
I really did not appreciate that show. I did not appreciate that show. That is professional, as polite as I can put. I had no appreciation for that show.
Why?
I was irritated just right off the beginning that no matter where they investigated, they were the first to investigate that spot and whatever it was. So they would, if they investigated a saloon, they were the first to investigate that saloon, and they were the first to investigate a saloon made out of cherry wood with 6 chairs in it. And it just drove me bats. Like it was a
Okay.
show about listening, how they were the first.
Ah, okay.
Just the ego was just too much for me.
Okay. That's good. That's good. Fair enough. Yeah, but I mean, I would still like that. I would have like a trailer that was a pretty much like a command center. I probably
Very nice.
I would call it like a lair instead because comic book.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's my lair.
I'd make the inside of mine look like a castle, you know, and just have like fake,
Be cool.
you know, stone around.
Right. Yeah, a little turret. So
Mhm.
when you go out the little window that goes to the roof, you can be like, I'm on the turret. I'm on the tower looking around. Yeah, there you go. So yeah,
Yep.
that would be my setup. Oh, sorry.
That's no problem.
I'm like we're trading off. I
I do that with Dave sometimes too.
that's all right. What about
All right.
you?
For what?
What about you? Same question. What about you?
Oh, for me,
Where would you did you answer? Like where would you go?
no,
No,
I
you
didn't really
didn't.
think about it.
Right.
I had this about the same perspective that Dave did. I picked somewhere in England as well, just because I want to go, and
Right.
or Ireland,
I want to go.
just so I could like, hey, we need to go pick up this piece of equipment in Italy, and we got to go to France, and so I could travel and see Europe. But other than that, my specifics would be someplace that's not known, that's not a paranormal hotspot. Same thing.
Right. Okay.
It's exactly why I'd want it.
All right. So let's get into some questions. I see we're building up some questions. That's good.
Yep.
I like that.
Here we go. I like this
All
one.
right. Red Man, have you guys seen anything new or unique in the paranormal community recently? Nah. I've seen, for the last couple years, honestly, I've seen the same thing in a new wrapping. Like,
I was going
that's
to put
it.
reshuffled.
Yep. It's basically like, let's take this highlighter and take it out of this case. We'll take the sponge and the ink, everything out of that, and we'll put it in a new case, and we'll give you a different one that looks like this. And then we'll resell it to you, even though it does the same thing. So, yeah, I really haven't seen anything new or unique come out at all. I did recently see, and I posted about it, that somebody that does a lot of crappy apps for paranormal stuff have incorporated AI art. So if you go to one of those AI art generators, and you put your words, and I've used it. I think they're really cool. But it looks like this app just puts in some spooky words for you as you're going around like a haunted location, and it generates pictures, and it's creepy pictures. So it kind of looks like, oh, there's a ghost here. I mean, that's probably new and unique, as new and unique that I'm going to get, because there's just nothing. There's no progress. There hasn't been progress in decades, to be honest. There's just nothing.
Well, I want to. I took some time and thought about this. My last trip to Gettysburg with you and Dave, I got to end up meeting the gentleman. Did not know he's from West Virginia, and also did not know he was so close to me. But he was thinking of testing and data collecting.
Okay.
And there he was at Gettysburg in a booth, and he had the battery tester that
okay. Yeah.
So
that's on the I think it's on my shelf. Oh, it's actually like over, it's right there.
Yes.
Right there.
I was impressed that at Gettysburg that there were, of course, I think we were there kind of representing thinking about critical ways to think about paranormal and the way to test claims, but it was really nice to see that there was someone there that had a way to actually collect data and test a claim. So I liked that part of it, and I think that was good to see someone not just making something that's going to blink, but actually collect data and test claims. And I really liked that. I got really excited. I'm still waiting. I want to get one of those just to have and support what they do. And I wish I remembered so I could give them a shout. But I can't remember what their team name was.
Oh, now you're putting me on the spot. Now I got to look. I'll look after the show. We'll find it, and then I'll get it to you.
So right. I did. I like the idea that it was
good,
kind of.
Yeah, I agree. It's, and I'm glad. Like, I really want to keep doing this where I do open mic nights with somebody else. Not necessarily as a guest per se, because I want to keep guests as like someone I talk to, interview informally. But I like doing this. I did it the first one I did with Daniel, and it was nice, especially when he saved my show when I had to bail out.
He became host.
Yes, but it's nice to have someone else to bounce ideas off of like this, because you're right. I mean, I was there. He gave me one of those, and it's an excellent thing. So that is kind of new and unique, because it's not just a battery like I don't. There are no battery testers for that, specifically for that. Like you have
Yeah.
your regular ones that you test your regular batteries, but nothing that tests over time like that. That you can see the display, you can see if there's any discharge. Um, or
And the claim, just in case, the claim is that ghosts or spirits or entities will take the power from your battery
right,
to manifest and make things happen. Da, 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 da. That stuff.
yeah, that's a whole different
That's a whole
topic.
different.
Discuss it. Yeah. So cool. All right.
You
What else
ready?
we got? Yep, I'm ready. Jade Kitten, what's up, girl? Uh, if the authors of the Bible came back to life today, how do you each think they would react to the fact that so many people today still believe what they wrote? So this is going to be pure speculation,
Right.
but I would say that they would likely not be surprised. Um, because I mean, this is really hard because there's so many different versions that the texts were copied so many times, and you don't know how many additions or alterations were made throughout these copies. But if we go back to the original authors, and I would say that they probably had a deeply held belief of what they were writing was probably true to the best of their knowledge. And if they saw that it continued to this day, they'd probably be like, all right, cool.
Mm-hmm.
Like excellent. It would be something they could connect to. Because I mean, and it's weird. Like I'm thinking back. There was an episode of Star Trek.
Mm-hmm.
Sure, there was a few episodes, but there was an episode of the Next Gen where people from like our time jumped ahead somehow. I forget how it happened, but they ended up on the Enterprise. And you're looking around. If that were to happen to people, you want to find something you can relate to, and to find nations of people that follow those teachings, would be a comfort to them. I think it would be like, oh, this is something I'm familiar with since I wrote it. um, but and I don't think they would be surprised as much as maybe awed.
Yeah.
As in like, oh, I can't believe like this spread. So there's so many people, and probably just the fact that there are so many people compared to the time they lived in. Um, that's what I would go with, I think. So what about
I,
you?
I I had about the same response that it would be pretty much in awe. Um,
Yeah,
I would want to ask them if what they see today is what their intent or their vision
yeah.
was. And that's just all speculation. I'll leave that up. That's a good question for somebody else to.
That's
That's
that's philosopher.
yeah.
Yeah.
Was this what is this what you had in? Was this the concept? I would be interested to know.
Cool. All
All
right.
right,
Yeah,
moving.
that was good.
That was a good question.
Redman, is reading the Amityville Horror the most paranormal experience you've ever had? So I take issues with books like that. So I have it. I have several copies. We have the original first printing downstairs in the library, but I've read through it, and it's to me it's a novel. It's not a true account of what happened. It's a novel because when you put dialogue in a book like that, like specific dialogue of conversations between people, it loses me. It just I'm like done because the author wasn't there. You're relying on people's memories of what they said, and they're going to favor themselves. So
Right.
they're not going to tell you, oh, well, I said this. It was kind of stupid. Let's change that a little bit. I don't trust the dialogue. I don't trust that kind of stuff, that kind of storytelling. So, I mean, it's reading them. I get annoyed with it. I mean, it's one of those books that I push through because it's in popular culture. People ask about it. I need to read this. I need to know what's in this book. So I forced myself to finish it. I didn't want to, but I did. So, what do you think?
So oddly, the Amityville horror has a strange place for me. I have so we a lot of my family came from Italy, so a lot of them came to West Virginia, and some of them went to New York. And often the family from New York would come and visit, and we would of course have a great dinner. And I was very young, and at some point we were all having a great big dinner. I'm just a kid, like I'm a small kid. And I was like, the kid when the family's at dinner and there's a nice family, it's nice thing they bring out. It's one of those things that the china gets brought out of.
Right.
And you can't touch it, you can't run around, you can't and I
Yeah.
usually end up getting a whipping. But at this time, they talked about this show, or damn, listen to that. They talked about this story. The cousins from New York, and I was just absolutely hooked. I was fascinated listening to them talk about this haunted house. So while Amityville is just kind of over for me, but as a childhood memory, listening to one of the first probably ghost stories around a family, except it just wasn't a campfire. And they spoke about it as factual, of course, and how horrible and all this other stuff. It definitely made a mark on me at a very young age. As a matter of fact, it was a book that I read, tried to read. I said, I was very young, but when I saw that book, I wanted that book, and I did my best to read it. I can't say it was my first book, but it might have been like my first chapter book, if that makes sense.
Okay.
But it did. It was probably one of the things that started leading me towards paranormal stuff. It was also probably one of the first nice dinners I didn't get a whooping for being a bad kid. Because I was stuck. I was just fascinated. I don't even think I ate. My head was going back and forth listening to everybody talk about these things called ghosts. Yeah.
That's cool. I like that. Yeah. All right, cool.
All right.
Yep.
Mr. Bob.
Mr. Bob. Better question. So you think. If you were to make a movie like Godzilla versus King Kong, but with other crypto creatures, which two crypto creatures would you want to see in a movie fighting each other? Wow.
I got to throw Bigfoot in there because that's got to be a pretty good fighter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. I don't know because you have local ones, there's a dog man. There's the skunk ape, which is like a Bigfoot. It's pretty much like a Bigfoot, but in Florida, I think. I don't know. I would. You know what? Here's an idea for a movie, and if somebody does this, I want 10%.
We got it filmed right here, so we have archived evidence that you.
So picture this. It's maybe 100 years into the future. The polar ice caps have melted. The world is flooded. It's water world.
Oh.
But because so much is flooded, it has connected all the lakes where the separate lake monsters have been. And then for some reason, the water starts receding and leaves all the monsters together in one big lake, and they have a celebrity death match.
That's great.
And then from out of nowhere, Mothman comes in, just swooping in like Mothra? Is it Mothra from Godzilla?
Mothra.
Yeah. but Mothman is much bigger, like almost the size of Mothra, because reasons.
Steroids.
Zeron's been jacked up, man. He's been working
jacked,
out.
That's right.
You know,
Have you
getting out
seen the
there.
statue in Point Pleasant?
He's
ripped.
He's
He's ripped.
got some abs, man.
Yeah.
Like, damn. So yeah, I would love to see that. Like Nessie, Ogopogo, Champ, and those are the big three that I know of, and I'm sure there's others. But just have them like go at it and like fight for dominance. Who's the king of the monsters? Ooh, there you go. Yeah, slip that in there. So there you go. That's my take. What do you think?
That is good. I feel Bigfoot has to be in there just because but I don't know. I don't know who and the storyline, like what would be the motivation. I kind of think Bigfoot would turn out to be the good guy. He would be protecting some type of family, either humanity
like
or
Hallmark movie.
Yeah, it'd be so sweet.
We could have like something on the border of like woodlands and like a snow covered area where you have Bigfoot and Yeti meeting for the first time, and it's almost like a superhero team up where they have to fight first.
Mm-hmm.
And then they realize, hey, we're on the same team. We have a common enemy over there, which is us, humans, trying to invade their territory, and they fight us, and they kick our ass. There you go.
Yeah. All right.
You're welcome. 10% of that too, please.
Yeah, we have it archived too, so we can prove in court the origin story.
Yes. Yeah. This was our idea.
I like this question a lot.
I think I screwed up her name before. Doriva. Am I saying that right? Let me know in the comments. Doriva.
That looks right.
I'm going to keep calling you Doriva.
Well, Doriva is a fan of coffee, so I already am a fan.
What is your favorite childhood TV program? If you have one, what is your favorite vintage classic TV program or movie serial? Wow. So, what's growing up?
Oh, you got this. As soon as when you were a kid, you got this.
I mean,
TV program.
Shit. I mean, there was the $6 Million Man.
Loved it.
I mean,
loved it.
That was awesome.
Bigfoot had to fight in that one.
Yeah. There's that classic episode. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
What else? I liked. Here's the throwback. How many people know this? Automan.
I don't know.
Anybody? Like that was a like when computers really started. They started coming on. I think it was like the early 80s, and it was like a nerd that pretty much a weird science before weird science. But instead of creating like a really hot woman, he created a guy that would protect him and like was a superhero. I'm gonna now we're gonna have to look this up.
Well, I'll go with while you look it up, I'll say Scooby-Doo, Mystery Inc. Huge.
Yeah.
In Search Of was huge. Kolchak, which I don't know if people will remember that.
Oh.
Okay. Have you heard of Kolchak? He was the Night Stalker.
Yes. Okay. Yeah.
In a good way. He sought out cryptids and vampires and ghosts. Ultraman. I started to say Ultraman.
There you go.
I remember Ultraman.
Automan. You remember this guy at all?
No.
Oh my goodness. He had the really funky suit. He had the car. They would drive in the car, and it was old school arcade things. So every time they had to turn, it wouldn't actually make a turn. It would do a 90 degree, just like.
Oh, yeah.
And the poor guy, the human, would be like, all of a sudden he'd be up plastered against the glass. Oh, I love this. I actually got a series of it. a friend of mine gave me the like the entire series, and I started watching it again.
And of course, Doctor Who.
Yeah. I went with you on Scooby Doo. I was not a Doctor Who fan, although I did watch it. But that's because it was like filler. It was in between shows, and I was like, "Well, I'm going to watch it. It's sci-fi. I'm going to watch it, even if I'm not into it." I watched. Oh my god. I'm drawing a blank. Not
thinking of-
Monk, but the older guy.
Similar to Monk.
Yeah. Oh my god, I'm totally drawing a blank.
Was he investigator?
Yeah, he was always like, one more question. One more.
Oh, you had raincoat.
Yeah.
Messy hair. Shit. Thanks. Thanks
See?
a lot, Kenny.
See? Columbo.
Columbo.
Thank you, Daniel. Thank you. Oh my god.
Yes.
Columbo. I watched Columbo.
I did love Columbo. He would
MASH.
He would start to walk away. Like, okay, I guess you got away with it. Yeah.
There's a lot of good things in here. Mork and Mindy. Yes. I watched that.
Yep.
Three's Company. Yeah, I watched that. What's Happening? I watched that.
I loved What's Happening.
Fat Albert. Watched that growing up. Yeah. Oh my goodness.
What was the guy? Dynamite.
Dynamite.
He would say Dynamite.
That was
Sanford and Son. I loved.
Oh my god.
Jefferson. Oh, Sanford and Son. That was classic.
That was good.
Quantum Leap. Yes.
Yeah.
Oh my god, that was great.
Yeah. Oh my god.
Well, now Jimmy Walker. That's it. That's
Good
times. Yes, thank you.
Good times. That's it. Yeah. I love that people watch it like know all the shows. We're so old.
Well, I'm so glad I just drank a pot of coffee, because now I can go. I'm going to look at this list and go hit up some streaming services. Taxi. I love Taxi.
Taxi was good.
I did not like Laka.
Mate, what is that? Mannix?
Taxi
Mannix? What is Mannix? Oh, Matt. I don't know. What is that? Red
What's
Man.
that?
Mannix.
Mannix. Okay.
I don't know what that is.
Look that one up. Mannix.
Oh, you're looking it up. I hear the keys.
No, you go ahead, because you can share it.
Mannix. You can share it too, can't you? You should be able to share everything.
Oh yeah, I forgot. Yeah.
That's not what I expected to see.
Oh, easy. A cop show. The Wall.
Okay. All right. That's not what came up. Delete.
Glad you
delete browser.
Yes. Kolchak the Night Stalker. Yep. Okay. I love that. That was one. The Waltons. So the Waltons, like when I grew up, you had one TV and the parents ruled it until they went to bed.
Right.
So Little House on the Prairie and the Waltons were always, you either went and read a book or you watched that. But I ended up really liking the Waltons.
I was lucky enough. I think I complained enough that when I was still kind of young, my parents got me a very tiny black and white TV that I had in my room, and I would just go and watch my own stuff, which probably led to why I'm so okay with being alone all the time. I am good. I'll just watch this by myself. So, all right, let's move on.
Geez, that was a good question.
That was good.
That was a lot of. I loved all the conversation.
Memory lane there.
Yeah,
that was good. Let's see, Jay. What do you think about the Dover Demon maybe being an owl?
Whoop to Google.
Did I just read this? The Dover Demon. I just read something about this. This was in Skeptical Inquirer, I think.
Was this the one? The picture looking down.
Let me make sure.
I looked up the. I looked up a. I looked up the. Oh no,
that's not it. I saw. Yeah, I remember these pictures. That's coming up. Dover Demon still. Ben did an article on the Dover Demon. Yeah, I thought so. So
it's not the one I thought.
I honestly, I'm not prepared for this. So I don't.
Oh, I see. Yeah, I've seen this picture several times. Excuse me.
Yeah.
I've seen this
Wow.
picture several times.
Yeah, this looks.
An
I
owl. That's
don't
an
remember.
interesting take.
I think is this the one where they? I think the one guy was like not a construction worker, but he's in a truck and he's driving down the road and he saw it on the side of the road. If I remember correctly, I think that's what it is. Let me look to Wikipedia.
Do you want me? Here's this
Go
one's
ahead.
saying Can I share this?
Yeah,
I know you've
share what
seen
you
this.
mean.
Share screen? No. What do I do? Share tab. This is new. Hold on. I'll pull it
Oh
over
boy,
here. Let me pull it over
screwing
here
up.
to my other screen, and then that way.
For reference, Tim, this is when you screw up.
No,
This is a screw up. Before the show is live, it's not a screw up.
Here we
During
go.
the show when it's live.
No, you messed it up. That was really
Whatever.
good. That made me feel better. There.
No, that's not it.
It's Dover Demon.
That is not a Dover Demon.
It's
a
labeled
fake
Dover.
image. God damn, I've seen that so many times. Where's my glasses? There it is. Okay. Oh my God.
Ask if this is the one, if we have the right.
Daniel, you know what? Here we go. Because we can pretty much do whatever we want. I'm going to send him a link. So if he's ready and he's listening to this, he should be getting ready right now. I'm going to send him a link so that he can get on here.
No, so this is not the one.
There we are. Daniel Reed. Putting the link in, sending it to you via Facebook. You pop in here, Daniel, and talk.
Yes, come on.
So, according to Wikipedia, sightings were 17-year-old William Bill Bartlett claimed that while driving on April 21st, 1977, he saw a large-eyed creature with tendril-like fingers and glowing eyes on top of a broken stone wall on Farm Street in Dover, Massachusetts. 15-year-old John Baxter reported seeing a similar creature on Miller Hill Road the same evening. Another 15-year-old Abby Brabham. They need to get better names. Claimed to have seen this creature the following night on another street. The teenagers all drew sketches of the alleged creature. Bartlett wrote on his sketch, "I, Bill Bartlett, swear on a stack of Bibles that I saw this creature." Did he actually have a stack of Bibles? Or was that just a phrase? That's pretty much it for Wikipedia. I do know that oh, wait, what do we got? Oh, there we go.
Nice. That's a sketch.
That's a small sketch.
Well, I'm working on it.
Oh man, that's good. So yeah, I mean, if this is what I remember reading, it could be an owl. It could be. I mean, the trouble is, I mean, this happened in 1977. I mean, this is a long time ago, and the first sighting was by a 17-year-old. I'm not trying to say that the teenager didn't know what he was talking about, but if he's driving along a road, it does say if it's day or night. It doesn't. I guess the point is we don't know what he saw. And I believe I remember him allegedly going back the next day trying to find out exactly where they were, where this thing was. So I don't think it could be an owl. I mean, you got eye shine coming from owls. The long fingers. I don't know how to explain that. Oh, here we go.
Daniel.
We got a third one in. Where's my cursor? There it is. There he is.
Hey,
what's up? Nice hair.
Yeah. Well, I'm actually in my pajamas.
Okay. Yeah, I kind of noticed that. It's all
So
good.
Dover Demon.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So Dover Demon, Ben did the article on the Dover Demon, and there's a really, it's in a really good, there's a really nice cover story on that particular magazine or episode of the Skeptical Inquirer. Just saying.
I do read it, bitch.
Well, no. It's the Devil's Baby of Ravenswood's on the cover of that particular one with the Dover Demon. You know,
Oh, okay. That's why he's. That's why he's.
doing a doing a yeah doing a shameless self plug there.
Shameless. Like,
It was sort of a one off sighting, as I recall, and Ben came up with some really. He had three different. He said, you know, it could be a hoax, but it could have been just two or three little thing. It's probably not anything grand.
right.
I'm trying to find the article actually to see his synopsis.
Deconstructing the Doe. Oh, here it is. I found it.
Yeah,
Not
yeah.
available. Subscribers only. Well, good thing I'm a subscriber. Get me in there, bitch. Let me see. Oh, here we go. So yeah, I remember reading it, and I agree with what he said. It's pretty hard to. First of all, this happened in 1977, so that's a pretty long. That's a long time. The details. Can we trust the details?
Yeah.
I don't know. How long was the sighting? How long did the experience last? How good of a line of sight and the lighting? You know, how good is the quality
Well,
of the detail? Go ahead.
he said he talks about media influences, and he said there may be some pop cultural reference to the work in 1977, which was influenced by big-headed aliens. And he talks about Star Wars in it, and that like the Mos Eisley cantina scene.
Yeah.
That if you look at the illustration, it does look like one of the dudes that's playing the bag or the saxophone.
Right.
But yeah, it's I mean, it. I don't know
So
about it being an owl. I don't.
let me give. I pulled up the article, so I'm going to try to read this the best I can. The Dover Demon is one of only a handful of distinctly American monsters. Blah blah blah. Ben just writes a lot. He just blabs a lot. The case is one of the most baffling creature episodes ever reported. Is a complex but fairly summarized as follows: on April 21st and 22nd, 1977, in Dover, Massachusetts, several teenagers, over the course of three seemingly independent sightings, reported the same unidentifiable creature. Dover, a small rural community of pastures and forest, is about 15 miles southwest of Boston. The creature was first seen at about 10:30 at night by 17-year-old Bill Bartlett, who was driving along a road with two friends. As his car's headlights illuminated a wall, Bartlett claims to have seen a strange creature climbing on crumbling stones. He
Yeah.
described it as having a huge melon-shaped head, spindly arms and legs, and a featureless face except for glowing orange eyes. He claimed the creature, about 3 to 4 feet tall, stared at his car as it passed. So that's a basic. That's the. Oh yes, you got it right. Oh, thanks, Doria. So that's the basic description from the article. So yeah, I mean, we're talking.
And
Go ahead.
he says that there's three basic explanations that they saw some living creature that had never been seen before or since. The description was hopelessly inaccurate, or that it was a prank. And he said that the first explanation is favored by mystery mongers, the one that it was a real creature that had never been seen before. The second explanation, he said, seems to hold the most weight, psychologically speaking, that it was something that was misidentified. And the third explanation is that some teens pulled a hoax, or that they were likely a hoax themselves. So,
okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, Go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, it's one of those what I call one-off weirdnesses. It was seen once, never seen again. Really, kind of has a Gollum sort of look to it.
I'm laughing because I see the comment from Ben that he's listening. I mean, this goes along the lines of the trucker ghost. I mean, how brief was this experience? Like, how long did they actually see this alleged creature? You know, it could have been almost anything. And if it's at night, we're talking 10:30 at night, how did they see him? Were there like street lights? Because if they're driving past it, the headlights are obviously not on this creature or on the scene. How bright was it? I don't know how bright it could have been in that area. So there's a lot of things that just stick out. Like, I don't know about this. You
He
know,
says Ben's saying that the theory leaves the door open for genuine sightings of a real, though unidentified, local animal. He said it's certainly true that the descriptions don't match a young moose or a deer. In fact, they don't match anything. So, and I
well,
think
here you go. This is one thing that he points out. Yeah, that the just the huge head alone and the
yeah,
tiny little body just doesn't make sense. Doesn't work out. And he should know because his head's huge compared to his
Oh,
body.
this is good knowing you, Biddle.
Oh, it's so good. I love you. And we get digs in without him responding. No, but yeah, he makes a really good point. It was a good article. I suggest everyone read it. It's in the last issue, right? Or no,
it's
it's in January,
it is
February.
in the volume 47, January, February.
Yeah. But it's a good story. It's a good investigation. As much as I don't like it to admit it, I mean, he does good work. So definitely check it out. So cool.
Yep.
Thanks for bringing that up and clarifying a little bit because
Yep.
I did read it, you know, even though you don't believe me, bitch. I did read it.
No, I believe you. I believe.
I just glanced over it. Like, yeah, whatever. It's Ben. So yeah. All right, cool. You want to hang out for a bit?
Sure, why not?
Sure.
Hang on out.
You know, you can fill in because Dave had a little emergency he had to take care of. But all right, cool. We got a couple more questions.
Yeah, just a few more.
Whatever happened to Skinwalker Ranch? I don't know. I think I watched a couple episodes just for the Three Tortured Souls show that we did.
Yeah.
And then I stopped following it altogether. I was like, it's boring.
Yeah, I never watched it. I've never watched. Actually, that's one show that I've never watched because I saw it and I thought it's just too much for me. So
Yeah. Yeah, it was over the top. And I mean, anything that I really want to know about that show, I usually get from Mick West. Who's really, really good at analyzing what that show does, among everything. I mean, pretty much he's my go-to guy when it comes to UFO sightings and videos and all that. So, but yeah, I was not, even while I was watching those episodes for that show, it was like the Amityville book. I didn't want to watch it. I was bored. I was aggravated, annoyed, and I was like, I gotta watch it just so I can comment, so I can have some insight into what this show is about. But
Hence,
did you read the second Amityville book?
There's a second one?
I'm pretty sure there's a second one, and the demons follow them and go someplace so they go somewhere else, and they come. If I'm remembering right, my God, I think I was in the 4th or 5th grade when I read that book. The fifth grade maybe. So I can't remember. It's been a long, long time ago, but I think there's a second book.
Is there Amityville Horror Part 2? Is that a movie? Oh, wait, no. It's a book written by John Jones as a sequel to the Amityville Horror.
Yeah, I read. Yeah,
know this. I mean, wow. So somebody needed more money.
Yeah, I guess. And if I remember right, the demons followed them. They moved somewhere, and the demons followed them to their new location. And so that explains why the house isn't haunted now, because demons.
Oh, that's good. Like,
Now I don't know if that's the truth. I'm just sort of
right.
making that part.
No,
But that
that
you
works.
know
That works. What's funny is that there was a short, I don't know if it was a news segment or a short documentary where they interviewed the new owners, I guess at the
Mhm.
time, that came in after all this bullshit happened, with the haunting stuff. And they showed like the front door, because that was allegedly like ripped off its hinges and had to be
Yeah.
repaired and replaced, which it wasn't. Everything was original. The uh,
Mhm.
upstairs banister, which was apparently also destroyed, or knocked. Part of it was damaged, um,
Mhm.
or like blown off, where something hit it so hard that it came out, um, of the stairwell. And she showed like, look, this is all original. Everything's original. Nothing's been damaged. Nothing's been repaired. Even some of the doors, that were I think there were like door locks that were allegedly ripped off and totally
Mhm.
shredded. Everything was fine and original. So unbelievable. Like the amount of story. You know what? I really attribute stuff like that to pre-internet, because
Mhm.
it was like, you can't look this stuff up unless you visited the house. You wouldn't be able to confirm. But now with the internet, you have so many people doing films and videos and walkthroughs. You can research almost anything and figure out that somebody from the 70s or 80s made a story up,
Mhm.
or totally fabricated stuff. So, all right. Let's we got a couple more questions. Let's get through them, because we're actually at the 2 hour, almost at
Oh,
the 2 hour mark.
here we go.
John Guy, Kenny, have you learned any new investigative techniques at your new job that you didn't know about before? Um, so I will say that when it comes to research, yes, I've learned a bit more, because working, Tim Binga, who is in charge of our libraries, CFI libraries, which you can go online and search for books. Um, he's about like a 10-second walk out my door, to his office. And he has opened my eyes to so much other research methods. Um, he has been able to locate books that I have not been able to find, or documents that I have not been able to find. He is, like Donna says, he is the man. Um, I have him. I can't give it away. I can't tell you what I'm looking for, but there is a particular magazine issue that I am looking for that is very hard to come by, and he's like, "Send it to me, bitch." And like, the challenge is open, so I'm hoping that he comes through. But so far, like, I mean, there's been so many books that just since I've been here, where I've said, "Oh, I would really like to get this." And he comes in. It's nice. Like every other day or so, he comes in here, sits down, um, as he drinks his coffee, and he's like, "What do you need today? What do you need?" And I'm like, "Well, I need this, or I need that, or I would like this. If you can find this book, I'd like a PDF just to be able to reference it." Because I don't like just stealing references from Wikipedia because they reference it. I want to see the book for myself, or at least a PDF of it, so I can read through it. But my priority is always to get the original book, magazine issue, what have you. Um, and I can tell him, "Hey, I'm looking for this." And sometime that day, he'll be like, "All right, here's the update." He either has the book or issue on order, or he can tell me where he got it from. And he did that. Even Daniel, the perfect
Yeah.
example. Like, you
Yeah.
were looking for something specific that you brought up in the show that you were on.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um,
And that I've looked on and off for that for probably 20 some years. And
Damn.
I mean, it didn't find it, and then bam, within a matter of days, he
Yeah.
had it. And I'm like, this is amazing.
David David, and he's like, he came in, he's like, so yeah, I found it and I got it. It'll be, I'll get you the pages by the end of the day. I'm like, holy shit. So
Yeah, it's like, this is. I mean, I saw it and I was like, this. What sorcery is this that this man is able to get this that
exactly. So it is amazing what he can do, and I love it. I mean, he's got superpowers as far as I'm concerned with this, and it's amazing. So, and I go into his office sometimes, or when he comes in here for coffee, like we sit and talk, and he explains where he got it from, and so I've been learning a little bit more, and it's been helping me with my research to be able to. I don't want to say burden him, because he does enjoy it. He, like, my passion for solving mysteries is a passion he shares for locating this kind of stuff and solving these little mysteries. So it's really cool how we can work together, and it's nice to have someone like that that I can tap as a resource. So I think that answered your question, John. Hopefully, and I keep learning. I mean, I keep bouncing. Even I don't want to go over, but we're going to go over. Eric on the other side here. He works in the office on the other side of the wall. He comes in here like 4, 5, 6 times a day, or we go back and forth. Like, I go in his office and we talk about something. Like, if I discover something new, I'll go in and tell him, or if he finds something new, he'll come in here and we talk about it, and we work through like a problem or an issue. And I'm learning new ways to reach out to different organizations, because that's what he does. He's our outreach coordinator. So I'm learning new ways to tap into new resources, or approach new groups, and try to not only access information they have, but to build a relationship with them. So, yeah, I mean, outside of just investigating, I'm learning a lot more skills that
Eric's been great. He's been, I've been emailing back and forth with him with the group, and he'll say, "Oh, well, here, you considered this, or here's something we're working on." So yeah, he's great.
Yeah, cool. All right, let's move on.
Here's a question from Daniel.
Damn.
Yeah. Yes.
So go ahead, Daniel. You ask a question.
Have you ever watched Mountain Monsters? Have either of you ever watched Mountain Monsters?
Yes.
Yes. Okay.
I think I've watched one episode. And was like, what the fuck is going on here? What am I watching?
I thought I was going to watch somebody get shot. But it didn't happen. So, like, I guess kind of reflecting on how Kenny was talking about Skinwalker Ranch, and sometimes we watch shows that we can at least have some type of reference that we can talk about techniques or findings or claims about something going on. And this was one of them. I'm not sure if it was Mountain Monsters, but every time I think about them, I think I watched the one where they went to Point Pleasant and thought they had a sighting of Mothman.
Oh yeah, they did. Yes, they did that.
Up on a bridge, and that was I think that was the last one I watched, if probably the only one.
I don't remember which one I watched. All I know is that at several points, the group carrying weapons they were circled, and the cameramen were on the outside of that circle, and I was going, "Oh, someone's getting shot." That's like, this is ending badly.
That's
That's the only reason I kept watching. Like, and that's very macabre, I know, but I was like, I'm gonna watch someone get shot. Like, someone's going down.
I'm not sure if firearms are the best thing.
I would seriously doubt that they are loaded.
Yeah. So I've met a couple of the guys that's on actually 3 of the guys, and one of them that's on the show, he passed away. But I've met some of the folks that are on there, and yeah, there's rules, because it's a and this is as I'm understanding it, that there's rules with respect to firearms on sets, and so they can't. They
Sex?
have to have them on sets. Set.
Like, well, damn, what kind of sex are you having?
Um,
I didn't see that episode.
was that on like Discovery, was that on Discovery Plus? You got to pay for that.
It's a pay-per-view.
that was that was the Midnight Whistler episode. But yeah, so there's rules that they have with respect to that, and so they're either blanks or they're shooting blanks or whatever. So
Okay,
That's good news. But I don't
Yeah.
think it's good
they're
modeling.
shooting blanks.
no,
That's funny.
going along with the previous.
Oh, it's at the end of the show. Okay.
But I guess the thing would be, people watching that will take their firearms with them.
Well, but they think it's they think it's real. That's the thing. That's I mean, and I've seen these chats where they'll say, well, no, it's real, it's real. And actually, the guy Trapper that passed away, that was the team leader for that group, got into a Twitter argument with Matt Moneymaker, I think it was, from Finding Bigfoot. And
Oh,
but the only reason I like the show is because let me rephrase that. The only reason I watch the show is because it's set in West Virginia, and
Yep.
yeah, it's just
Okay. All right. We got
Last
more
one.
question, right? Last question. What do we got? Red Man, what kind of a list could you guys come up with as far as what I term sponge devices to collect data on an investigation? I mean, what's a sponge device?
maybe I'm kind of feeling like it might be collecting data just from like the environment.
Just soaking it up?
Yeah.
Oh, I
I'm
figured that
thinking.
out all by myself. I
I'm
think.
still
Go ahead.
fascinated with data collectors, and I
Yeah.
still have this, like, I really want to. I know, as Dave has helped me out, letting me know that my thoughts were of not such a more of an ignorant space. I would love to set a data collector, a couple of them, and then just collect data for a year in a haunted location, an alleged haunted location, just
Right.
so I can see like a whole year from January to January
Yeah.
and see what happens over a course of a year with everything going on. But then, of course, Dave points out, if you're collecting several hundred measurements a second,
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
then
lot.
I'm screwed when it
Yeah.
comes. I still want to do it, but how to overcome that, I don't know.
That's commitment. That's part of your, hey, you have a year and unlimited funds
Yeah.
to do it.
Well,
That's
if you
where
had unlimited funds, you could hire people to you could parse it out and say, okay, you do these data, and you do these data, and if you had limited, like Tony Stark level funds or whatever.
Ooh. Oh,
love
I want a ghost hunting suit. That's what I
Yeah.
want.
Yeah.
Closing
Damn,
the dark.
that's great, Daniel. I didn't even think about going down that road, but you're right.
Yeah. That's good. I like that. All right. So we're getting at the end here. We are at the end. We're over.
Yep.
I want to just say, Jade Kitten, I saw your question there.
Oh, I missed it. I'm sorry, Jay.
Oh, it's all right. It's put it up here. There we go. May I ask for a book? I don't know what that is in reference to.
The Orb book, isn't that the book?
May I ask for a book? Oh, well, yeah.
I think she's referencing maybe when you were explaining what the librarian did.
Oh,
for you.
library.
Oh,
You can't get books out. You can use the books, but you have to be here to do it. If you call and make an appointment, anyone's welcome to come in and use the library during regular business hours. We don't send out books. It's not that kind of library. Just because it's not, he's the only one that runs it. And he has a lot of other duties. So we don't actually send out books. So you'd have to actually come here, which would be an excuse for you to come out and visit, and we can meet and hang out and then I could actually, because I do get free books, and I could give you some. But yeah, I hope that answered your question. If not, if you have follow-up questions, just email me or send me a message and follow up with the questions, and I can address them. But okay, so we got good night, Kenny and Tim. Good night, everybody. Good.
Oh, we got someone drunk. Whew.
I think you guys finally got me drunk. Yeah, I need to eat. Awesome. All right.
Oh, it's good seeing Red Man.
Do you guys have anything coming up? Daniel, do you have anything coming up?
No, we're going to, at some point in time, I was thinking about Tim today and thought I need to get with him to learn how to operate the system so that we could do another meeting next month for West Virginia Skeptic Society.
And
but
you're
nothing.
You're an admin on my account too, so you feel free to use it.
Okay, I appreciate it. I really do.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, cool. Tim, you got anything coming up?
I'm doing a show. I think next. Let me check the calendar. Oh no, not next Wednesday. You're lucky.
I know. Figure out a topic.
Yeah, I do a show with 2 other friends of mine that we get drunk and talk trash and end up not making much sense by the end of it. And then when I'm in charge of the show, I mess up the ending, which is actually the best part of the whole show because I'm drunk.
Yeah, it is. It's fun. Yeah, when he screws up. All right. So for me, I have a few things coming up, which I cannot read because I don't have my glasses. There they are. Okay. So we're at the end of March. April's coming up. I don't have anything. May, I have the Rochester Parafest, which is May 12th to, I think, 14th. It's that whole weekend. Friday night's like a meet and greet party. It's in Rochester, New York. I'll be out there for that. I'm actually doing, April 3rd. I will also be in Rochester because the guy, Ted Vanson, who is running the Parafest, he's going to do a live podcast. I'm going to be in studio out there at the location where the paranormal conference will be. And I'm going to do an interview, a podcast out there. So I'll get more information and share it probably this weekend. But if you want to come out, if you're in the area, come on out and we can meet, we can hang out. Then I was supposed to do the the Pennhurst Parafest or Paracon, May 19th to 21st, but I have to cancel that. And they already know that because we have a special guest coming here, a special speaker coming here that I really want to see. I'm going to help out. His name is Leo Ingwe, and he's been in Skeptical Inquirer a bunch of times. He is from Nigeria, and he is a skeptical activist that actively protects. He does a lot of stuff, but one of the things he does is protect people that are accused of being witches, like real witches, not Wiccan stuff, but real witches. And it's a very serious problem over there because those people are usually hunted down and killed. So it's a very serious problem. And he's doing a tour over here in the US, and we were able to get him to come here. So I think we got the date set. It is May 22nd. He'll be here speaking at CFI headquarters in Amherst, which is in Buffalo. So I wanted to make sure he's coming in like that Sunday. So I didn't want to chance it. So I canceled the Pennhurst thing, and I'm going to be here for that and see what he needs. And I'm probably going to do a special skeptical help bar, hopefully that Monday during the day. And I'm going to have him here and talk to him. And we're going to get into that.
That's a really special that's a nice opportunity.
Yeah. This is a guy I've known about him for years. And this is the first opportunity I'm going to get to meet him. So I'm not going to screw that up.
If you should make it, if you would do a different time slot for skeptical, but your show. Sorry, alcohol,
coffee,
alcohol. It's got my alcohol has coffee in it. Let us know. I would love to see that.
Okay. Yeah. yeah, and yeah, if you want to come up, we'll talk afterwards. But you're
Mhm.
always welcome to crash. So let me know if you want to come up to see that. And we'll probably be streaming it.
Mhm.
Then June is the next stuff. I have some things coming up. Melanie Tressa King, who has been on this show twice, she's going to be speaking here June 8th. She'll be here. She's coming up. We're going to hang out for a couple days. She's coming to visit, and I got her to be our speaker for June. So she's going to talk. I don't know about what, but we're going to have a good time. So she'll be here. If you're in the Buffalo area, come on out. What else do I got? July 14th to 16th is the Gettysburg Battlefield Bash. So I will be in Gettysburg, Pennsylvania for that conference and hanging out there. I know I'm going to be part of a panel discussion, but that's about it. I'm not setting up a booth this year because we want to just go and just relax and have fun and be able not be tied down to a booth, especially people from Connecticut that want to beat me up. So with
I think that based upon your and Ben's exchange, I think it's more than people from just Connecticut. Just yeah.
Well, yeah. Well, this particular conference, there's one guy. There's that guy.
That guy, yeah.
That guy. That I'm going to refer to Tim next time he comes up. September 16th is the Mothman Festival, so I might be out there.
Ah,
That
yay!
And then the big one, October 26th to 29th, is SciCon in Las Vegas, Nevada. Going to be there, bitches. So I know I'm doing a workshop with Jim Underdown. I have been told that, so it shouldn't be a secret. Hopefully it's not, because I'm telling you anyway. We're going to do a workshop on how to solve mysteries. I'm going to actually talk about the investigating mysteries, and he's going to be talking about testing people with superpowers, how to test people with psychic or magical powers. So should be fun. And then the rest of the conference is just, the lineup is really getting cool. I can't tell you anything else about it, but it's really going to be cool, and I'm looking forward to it. So with that, I think the last thing I have, because I want to get all my announcements out, is November 4th is Power Unity Conference in Woodbridge, New Jersey. So I'll be there set up with my Skeptical Help booth, and that's it. That's it for now. So
will my favorite guy be there again?
I think so. I think he's going to be there. So
I'm going to ask him. I'm going to ask him the same question.
Yeah, I'll tell him. Yeah, we'll get to that.
We'll get to that.
All right, dude. I'm almost I almost feel like this is a 3 Tortured Souls episode, and I'm kind of like, that's my announcements. All right, take it away. It's it's a shame. That's the public events. You don't even know what I do here. I thought, and this is not a bad thing, but I thought I'll have plenty of time. I'll be able to write and make videos every single day. No. I still do that. I still write and I still film every day, but I do so much other things. There's so many projects going on here, and I absolutely love it. I love being that busy with projects that make a difference and teach critical thinking. I am so involved with so many things here, and I love it. I love it. So if you ever get a chance to visit me in Buffalo, please come out. It'll be worth it. It definitely will be worth it. There's something else I wanted to say, but I forget.
Alcohol.
It's good. And the alcohol, it works. All right, that's it. So, thank you guys. Thanks Dave, who had to run a little early because of a personal thing. So, but thanks Dave for coming out. Tim, thanks for hanging out all night and taking care of the questions and comments and looking after being my producer tonight. Daniel, thank you for filling in and hanging out for a little bit with us in your pajamas.
In my pajamas, yeah. In my comfy red pajamas.
I mean, that's dedication, That's pretty good. I mean, we should do that.
I was just thinking that we should
pajamas day.
We've done it in lab coats. Now we should do it in pajamas.
Yeah. All right. So
I'm glad I
everyone,
could be an
thanks for hanging
inspiration.
appreciate everyone hanging out and sticking with us for a longer show. Be safe. Have a great weekend. And remember, never stop learning. And we'll see you next time. Bye.
Don't mess up.